All right.
Well, welcome everyone. The song I'm going to sing was written by Frederick William Faber. William Faber was born in 1814, died in 1863. He only lived to about 49 years of age. But he was an Episcopalian poet. Then he became a Roman Catholic poet, and he wrote many hymns and poems. And this poem was put to music, and it has become one of the favorite Christian hymns. It is called Faith of Our Fathers. Faith of our fathers, living still, in spite of dungeon, fire, and sword. Oh, how our hearts beat high with joy whene'er we hear that glorious word. Faith of our fathers, holy faith, we will be true to thee till death. Our mothers penned in prisons dark were still in heart and a conscience free, and blessed would be their children's fate, though they like them should die for thee. Faith of our mothers, holy faith, we will be true to thee till death. Faith of our elders, we will love, both friend and foe, in all our strife, and preach thee too, as God knows how, by kindly word and virtuous life. Faith of our elders, holy faith, we will be true to thee till death.
Thank you, Reverend Joseph. Now we'll have a welcome from Gina Fraser.
Good morning. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. My name is Gina Fraser, and I am a member of the church in Ocean Park. I am here to welcome you to this unique interfaith community that is dedicated to social justice. You may be wondering if you are welcome here. We are an interfaith, so you are welcomed if you're Jewish, if you're Muslim, if you're Hindu, Buddhist, Christian, atheist, or some combination or something else altogether. We extend a special invitation for those of you who are single, married, divorced, gay, transgender, filthy rich, or just living on the edge. We extend a special invitation to those who are crying newborns, just browsing, just woke up, or just got out of jail. We don't care if you're more religious than the Pope or haven't been to church since your nephew's baptism. We extend a special invitation for those who are over 60 but not grown up yet, and to teenagers who are growing up way too fast. We invite soccer moms, tree huggers, latte sippers, vegetarian, junk food eaters. We invite those who are in recovery or still addicted. We invite you if you're having problems or if you're down in the dumps. We welcome those who like organized religion and those who don't. We offer a special invitation to those who work too hard, don't work, can't spell, or because they are bored with staying at home all day and heard this is a strange church. We invite those who are inked, pierced, or both. We offer a special invitation to those who could use a prayer right now or had religion shoved down their throats as a kid. We invite tourists, seekers, and doubters, and you. Welcome to the church in Ocean Park. Another tradition that we do is we center ourselves with a Thich Nhat Hanh chant. And I'm not the best singer, but I'm gonna try. And what we do is we repeat this 3 times, and I'm just gonna say it first, and then we sing it 3 times. It's, I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. Me, 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 me. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now.
Thank you very much, Gina. Beautiful. I'm Reverend Janet Gollery McKithen, and I'm the minister of the church in Ocean Park, and I'm really happy that you're here this morning. I'm happy that you decided to come and turn on your computer and join us in this space, because this is the space where we are right now. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a diverse group, and so you may hear voices that you don't agree with, and that's by intention, because we can always expand our perspective a little bit more that way. And so if you disagree with someone, that doesn't mean their perspective is better than yours or more worthy. Your perspective is just as worthy as theirs. So if you want to talk about something more than we're able to this morning, put that in the chat and put your email, and we'll get together with you and talk about it some more. So if you hear something you disagree with, don't worry about it. That's how it's supposed to be. The Church in Ocean Park strives to be a horizontal organization. We have a variety of leadership styles. A person or entity that speaks for us is the administrative board. There's not one person that speaks for the church in Ocean Park, not even myself. If a topic comes up you'd like to discuss further, put that in the chat. We begin our time together with a land acknowledgement. We, the people of the church in Ocean Park, recognize that the building in Santa Monica sits on stolen land, and most likely all of us do too, wherever you're sitting this morning. To all our relations, we, the settlers of this land, honor the Keech, the Tongva, the Chumash peoples. May we become good guests upon your land. We acknowledge the harms of genocide, enslavement, forced assimilation, gender violence, destruction of sacred sites, and the burial of historic truth about Indigenous suffering at the hands of U.S. settler colonialism. We apologize for the harm, and we pledge to make ourselves a part of the culture of repair. Let us join our hearts to the protection of sacred sites and villages, as well as the Indigenous people who now live among us. Blessed be Ashe, Amen. Now we'll go on to a reading. One of our poets, Craig Ali, is going to be our first reader. Craig?
Thank you. This is the Kasida Burda. Sharif. For the Prophet, peace be upon him. Malawa ya sali wa salim daiman abdan ala habibika karikaliki kulihimi Muhammadan Sayyidina Kaunyani wa thakalin wa farikin min urbi wa min ajami Nabyana amirun nahifala ahadun abara fi kalila minu walana ami Hawa habibika ladi turja shafa atuhu la kuli haulim minal akwali mukutihimi daila fal mustamilikuni bibi mustamisikumi bihablin gari ma munfasimi fakana binya fikakiwa fikulikun walam yudamihu fi ilmi wa la karami fama blagul ilmi fihi anahu basharun wa anahu kari kakilahi kulihimi. Translated, O Mawla, send prayers and peace always and forever upon your beloved, the best of all creation. Muhammad is the messenger of two worlds and the first groups of men and jinn and the guide of both the Arabs and non-Arabs. He is our prophet, and there is none more true in word saying yes, meaning this is permitted, or no, meaning this is not permitted. He is the beloved, and from all the woes that we have descended upon the humans. He called us to the path of Allah, and those who cling to him have held the rope of Allah so tight that it would never break. He surpasses all the prophets in creation and in character. External appearance and in internal appearance. None could reach his rank in knowledge and in generosity. Kasida Burda Sharif.
Thank you so much, Craig. Thank you. Well, today, many of us are finding out, and actually Craig and I were having a conversation about this, that it's Black Poets Day. And it's very exciting. And so, I was speaking with Reggie, and he's been with us before, and I said, do you want to come and sing for Black Poets Day? Because, you're a songwriter, you're a Black poet. And he said, yes, thanks, Reg. And also, not only yes, but that he has a poem about the Harlem Renaissance. Now, let's see. I'm going to be putting the, I'll put the lyrics into the chat for us, and they have to be bit by bit because the chat only takes so much. And this song is popping. So, Reggie Harris with the Harlem Renaissance.
Well, this song actually began when Kim and I were doing a residency in Troy, New York with some third graders. And we were talking to them just about different times in history, and we asked what time in history they remembered from their studies, and they said, the Harlem Renaissance. And we went, whoa. Pretty progressive group of kids. So we wrote a little song and put that up on the school bulletin board, but I was revisiting it in 2017, and we wrote these lyrics, and it celebrates all of those amazing artists and philosophers and activists in the Harlem Renaissance. It has a part for all of you in the chorus. It's written in that style of that time. So we get to the chorus, and the chorus goes like this. It was the Harlem Renaissance. People People were working hard, trying to change the world. Whenever you hear that, trying to change the world, as you would be in the big band, you would call out, to change the world, a little bit of call and response. And there's another part that comes following that. So I'll sing the chorus, and then you can figure out where you belong. Chorus goes like this. In the Harlem Renaissance, people were working hard, trying to change the world, to change the world. Oh, what a time it was in the Harlem Renaissance. Music was popping, people were talking about freedom, about freedom. Oh, what a time it was. You can just follow Kim, she's got the deal. To all those amazing folks. In the course of our nation, since time that it was begun, people of color have been in the struggle, living life under the gun. It's been a hard battle for dignity, and the world didn't seem to care. They fought with pride, they were still denied, as if they were never even there. Then came the 20th century, and a new world on the rise. A thought, a word, a note was heard, and people opened their eyes to a vision of a brand new future, to the sound of a different drum. Came to be in Harlem, a revolution was begun. It was the Harlem Renaissance. People were working hard, trying to change the world, to change the world. Oh, what a time it was in the Harlem Renaissance. Music was popping, people were talking about freedom, about freedom. Oh, what a time it was. Zip-ba-da-ba, dooba-dooba-dooba-da. Da-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da, zip-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. It was a time of great excitement, a time of discovery. Writers and poets, painters, and oh, don't you know it was the place to be. Philosophers stretched the vision, told the world what they could see. Civil rights icons cracked the door for people like you and me. It was a Harlem Renaissance. People were working hard, trying to change the world, to change the world. Oh, what a time it was in the Harlem Renaissance. Music was popping, people were talking about freedom, about freedom. Oh, what a time it was. From Hughes to Hurston, from Cullen to Duke, from Bearden to Van der Zee. Madam C.J. Walker, she was more than a talker, and Billy was always on key. Philip Randolph said vote, and James Weldon Johnson said lift every voice and sing. While Du Bois and Robeson were taking it on, Satchmo and Byrd were just busy doing their thing. They all delivered a slice of truth, no matter the pain or cost. From the beat of the vision to feet on the floor, their efforts have not been lost. 'Cause right here in the future, we know how they showed the way, and we give them props for breaking it down and the price they had to pay. It was a Harlem Renaissance. People were working hard, trying to change the world, to change the world. Oh, what a time it was in the Harlem Renaissance. Music was popping, people were talking about freedom, about freedom. Oh, what a time it was in the Harlem Renaissance. People were working hard, trying to change the world, to change the world. Oh, what a time it was in the Harlem Renaissance. People were popping, people were talking about freedom, talking about freedom, about freedom.
Freedom!
Freedom, about freedom.
Freedom!
What a time it was.
Woo! All right. Thanks, Reggie. Ooh, goodness, got us moving this morning. All right.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much, and thank you to Dr. Kim. We didn't introduce her earlier. She's one of we're lucky that she's one of our leaders for the Sunday morning services. So thank you, Dr. Kim, and thank you, Reggie, so much. We really appreciate both of you. And now I get to introduce one of our poets. Connie D. Williams is a poet, actor, community activist, and performance artist with 3 collections of poetry. In 2015, he released 2 critically acclaimed CDs of his poetry, accompanied by music. He's the former artistic director of the World Stage and coordinator of the Anansi Writers Workshop. He's also co-founder of the World Stage Press. His poems have been published in various anthologies and journals, and he has performed his poetry on television, radio, universities, colleges, and various venues across the United States. And if you Google him, you'll see some wonderful interviews with him as well. We welcome Connie Williams. Welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here, and I certainly want to acknowledge Baba Umdi in the house today. It's a real honor whenever he's with us. The poem I'm going to read today is called When Victims Go Dark, and it's a poem written in tribute to Trayvon Martin. When victims go dark, it only means the lights is out in Sanford, cause Florida just rose that way. They stand their ground, refuse to back down as though they were a Category 5 hurricane, seeking retribution and innocence. Everybody knows Black teenage boys always get away with suspicious behavior, like chatting with girlfriends and wearing dark villainy for camouflage. When rain falls upon that sunshine state, that great state where they chad their presidential ballots beneath a smoldering bush, Black teenage boys best run from them name brand bullets, those pre-named bullets and suspecting vigilantes whose testimony is like a Venus flytrap. Everybody know Black teenage boys can run fast, but they can't outrun the dark. Inside melanin and nightmares masquerading in human form. Stop. Where is your hall pass? How you get off the plantation? Fox News called a press conference to incriminate Blacks in hoodies. Whenever you enter neighborhoods of convenience for Skittles, it's impossible for Black men to stay dry. Their temporalness washed away with thick red fluid. We disappear on the landscape of law and order. We disappear like ashy soldiers standing at attention next to an amputated jukebox. The lights were blown out in Sanford, Florida, where injustice poses an imminent threat. So run away, Black, in pants that sweat. Run away, Black, like contraband. Run away, Black, into trap doors and silence. But you can't outrun gun control, can't outrun the NRA, can't defend yourself against the inertia of the inevitable. Black teenage boys always underneath a neighborhood watch, always test subject for laws flawed at birth and historical context. Mama, can you come and get me? I'm being followed by false leads, and my birthright searchlights and profiles have transformed me into a 2D hologram. Daddy, please come and get me. The night is chasing me down where my blood is frozen on pavement. My bones are arranged like 17 confessions, screaming face down like the quiet of murder. Everybody know Black men ain't good for nothing except glossy pine boxes and incarceration. 911. My name is Trayvon Martin. Can you please help me return home? Self-defense conceals her judicial privilege, then shoots the 6-foot unarmed shadow. 911. My name is Trayvon Martin. Please Help me. I'm trying to return home. My daddy's expecting me back. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I am clicking the heels of my sneakers three times. I won't go out after dark. I won't go out after dark. I won't go out after dark. When victims go dark, justified homicides are the neon chalk for silhouettes. When victims go dark, 911 is never an adequate color for response. Trayvon, are you still there? Do you still need help? 911, my name is Breonna Taylor. Response time is now never, whenever victims go dark. Thank you.
Just want to sit with that for a moment. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Thank you, Connie. Our next poet is Sunflower Pierre Wilson. Sunflower is a writer, a poet, a healer, and a lover. Sunflower says, throw tarot cards, not hands. Welcome, Sunflower.
Thank you. I'm still sitting with Connie's poem, so I'm just taking a bit process that, so I can give like just maybe 60 seconds or maybe two. So thank you. Right. So this poem is called Saturn Return, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and start. Every 29 years or so, something called a Saturn return happens. Yes, I am into astrology. You must get real with yourself. Is what I'm doing really for me, or do I want a new life? In layman's terms, your quarter life crisis at age 30 and your midlife crisis at age 50. At this crossroads, magic lies in change and choice. Some of us are afraid of change. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Some of us are tired of change. Each decade a magic 8-ball tumbling down a very rocky hill. I'm somewhere in between, afraid, tired, yet so ready. I am done with 9-to-5 work. I am done with 8 to midnight love. The secular is losing its luster as the spiritual gains its shine. Babies are now cute, so is calling someone baby. Trading I, me, and mine for we, us, and ours is slowly becoming more natural. The biggest change has been who I love. Bisexual people are insert negative comment. Don't be greedy, choose. So I did, knowing that sexuality is neither fill in the blank nor multiple choice, but a blank canvas only I have the right colors for. Having a husband and a wife seems cool. Two's company breeds a triad. As we move from Libra season to spooky Scorpio, I ask myself and every person, job, situation in my life, so what are we? That's my poem.
Thank you. That's beautiful and very vulnerable. Thank you, Sunflower, for sharing pieces of yourself. We know you better now, and we know the world better now before your poem and Connie's poem as well. Thank you so much for being vulnerable. We are so blessed this morning with the poets that we have here this morning, and the variety, and also how meaningful they are. Vitali is a poet, a great grandma, unbelievably, a vegan chef. I'll have to have you over sometime. A doula, midwife, nurse, 10-year director, host of a Nancy writer workshop, The World Stage, author of a poetry collection, Hymn 2016, chapbook, Poetry is an Act of Peace, creator, producer of 9 One-Bit Ensemble, The Ovary Office, has performed with the Watts Prophets, Nalia Porter, Dwight Tribble Oasis, Jazz Antiqua Dance and Music Ensemble, the late Horace Tapscott, Billy Higgins, and shared stages with Amiri Baraka, Nikki Giovanni, Sonia Sanchez, and the last poet. Welcome, V. Carly.
I have to ask permission from Queen Mother Mildred for me to speak. Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you. I read her lips. Baba Amdi, I'm always honored to be in your airspace. This is called Pigtail Blues. The original title was and is, it will continue to be again, The Altar in My Kitchen. Sing praise to the altar in my kitchen, and its beads of sweat from straightening combs come to fry my brain and straighten out my life from its Nubian dawns. Start to finish me like God didn't do a good enough job. Straightened by design my mind that went back. After brainwashed on permanent press and curl, turned kinky after white rice steam of oppression and sacrificed by the skin of my neck to sizzle and burn when matriarch conversations forgot and branded me plantation style with hot iron. Ears, face, neck, even a shoulder when it slipped. A daily ritual with no right to pass on skin offerings to a blue-eyed God that required straight locks to be presentable in his sight. I won't worship none your gods no more. Gonna worship my own. Ain't gonna worship you no more. Gonna worship my sons. Only blue I worship gonna be sea. Only blue I worship gonna be sky. Only blue I worship will be BBs and Bessies with a little muddy waters on the side. The only blues I worship from now on is gonna be mine.
I want to say what a pleasure it is to be here and to hear that wonderful poem and all of your work, and to meet you and all of the poets. It's good to see my old friend Connie again and Janet. And not too long ago, one of my brothers had a stroke. One of my younger brothers, I have three. And he had read somewhere that most guys who have a stroke die within short time afterwards. And he said the only ones that keep on living are the ones that keep on walking and keep on talking. Yeah. And of course, that made me think of this wonderful song, which I put in my play, Confessions of a Pulpiteer, about my days as a fundamentalist preacher. And so I'm going to sing a little bit of it. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching down to freedom land. Ain't gonna let no Jim Crow turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let no Jim Crow turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom's land. Ain't gonna let no hatred turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let no hatred turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let no racism turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let racism turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let no hatred turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let no hatred turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom's land. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom's land.
Thank you so much, our friend Lee Beck. We love you so much. Thank you so much. All right, so now we have community sharing time, which means that you all get to share, or you can share what the poems did to you internally, or you can share, you can ask a question of one of the poets, or however you want to do it. If you want to go to the reactions and press reactions, there's a place in there that says raise hand. So if you could do it that way, that would be the most helpful way. But you can also do this, like shake your hand around and I might see you. I see somebody has their hand out. It's Dr. Kim. Dr. Kim, go ahead. You're on mute, Kim.
Yeah. Thank you, Reverend Janet, and thank you so much to all the poets today. I'm going to be thinking about these poems for this entire week. Just there's so much there, and realizing that for our people there is so much that needs to be said, needs to be thought about. Everything from the pain and the joy and the self-realization, all of that. But what I just have to say is that Mother V, now I have to tell you, when I heard your poem, I was thinking about the hot comb. And then Lee, when I heard you singing, I mean, today has just been so amazing. First of all, I also do have to acknowledge Craig reading that poem in Arabic. Lord have mercy. Thank you. Thank you, Craig. And we had that also in honor of an Islamic religion celebration that's coming up. But Elder V, Mother V, when I was listening to Lee singing "Ain't Gonna Let Nobody," I realized that I've got my locks here, and there are times, yes, and so there's part of me that wanted to sing. Ain't gonna let no hot comb turn me around, oh, turn me around, oh, turn me around. Ain't gonna let no hot comb turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up the freedom line. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here. These poets, oh, like, yes, Mother B. Okay, that's it for me.
Thank you so much. Jean Gasca.
Well, I didn't have a hot comb, but I went to high school during the 60s, the late 60s, and the fashion was the surfer girl, right? The blonde, long, straight hair. And I, even though now in my older years don't have as much frizziness, I had frizzy, curly hair. So I endured much pain rolling my hair on tuna cans to make it straight. So try sleeping on tuna cans at night. It's really hard. And I wanted to acknowledge, I don't know your first name, but I'm going to call you Mother V. Your line, like God didn't do a good enough job. That really struck me, because in this country, everything is about self-improvement. We have to look for all these gurus on the internet to make us better. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be a better person or be healthier, but there's an extreme that makes us feel desperate. And I love that line. I'm going to put it up above my desk. like God didn't do a good enough job, because God did do enough job on all of us. Thank you so much, all of you poets. Thank you.
Beautiful. Claudia?
My husband, Craig Hamilton, who's downstairs from me, has a really interesting story about pronouns, or that he came back from work to tell me about. He was doing, I think it's a student center at Cal State Northridge, and it was a Zoom presentation to the students. And one of the, there was the architects in their little Zoom place, and then the students. And there was feedback from the students to one of the new young women architects that she didn't have her pronouns up, and how dare her. And anyway, Craig, I believe it was Craig, it's his story, but she came to him and she said, I think, she said, I'm lesbian, and I'm actually afraid to show my coworkers, in other words, my bosses, what I am. I'm not sure how you guys will accept me. It's not the students I'm afraid of. It's you guys in my office. And so it really presented her with a really difficult problem. And anyway, you can see the dilemma there.
Yeah, thank you, Claudia.
Does anyone have a comment? I mean, does the poem, I wondered if you might comment on that.
Sunflower, do you want to comment? You have a comment, Sunflower?
Yeah, is it in reference to the pronouns, or is it in reference to being your true self? Like what in what?
Yeah, what would you have done if you were her, presented with, what would your advice be to her, say?
Yeah, so it's interesting that I lived in Seattle before living here in California, and I actually worked in an office with architects, and I worked in an office with like urban planners, all that stuff. So I was in that atmosphere. So just kind of ironic to this question. But I would say to simply be yourself. I mean, that's a very, almost cheesy, vague answer. But I mean, you're at work due to capitalism for most people most of the day. And it's very hard, at least maybe from my perspective, it's hard to not be your authentic self for hours on end, 5+ days a week. And I had coworkers, one changed their pronouns, actually. They just got hired, then like a year into their work, they were going to be a tenured professor. They changed their pronouns to they, them. And so, they did it bravely. They told everyone, these are my pronouns now. Most people were on board. Some people still use the old pronouns, but just in general, they were able to keep their job. They were able to have their coworkers accept them for the most part. So I would say do so. I'm a person who I personally can't be fake at work because I usually, like I said in my poem, I'm done with 9 to 5 work to begin with. So I cannot be in environments where I have to put on a mask or a tie. Like I can't, not just I don't want to, I simply cannot. So that's my piece of advice.
Thanks, Sunflower. Johnny. Hi, Johnny. Good to see you. Go ahead with your question or your comment, and you're on mute.
Wonderful, thank you. I just, there's just so much power in this space right now, and I just wanted to comment on the beauty of it. And I think, wherever there are people, there is power. And I just think there's so much power in those of us that are able to, speak and use our voice. There is power in the voice. And even more so, there is power in the Black voice. And it was just, my body was just resonating with so much, so many voices. And it was just beautiful. And I just in awe of, I think the more that I grow as an artist, I think the more the more deeply I understand the importance of being connected to one's soul and one's soul's voice. And it's just beautiful to see people who have done the work, such important work, to connect the physical voice to the spiritual voice, and to share that, and then to just like heal is something that I aspire to do. So I just think that was beautiful. Yeah, and there was such a range. I mean, Sunflower, beautiful job, Sunflower. Such beautiful work. I think, I'm very much so, my Saturn is in return right now. Things are going a little cray in life, but I welcome it with open arms and was healed by everyone. So I just wanted to say thank you and so much gratitude for even being able to be in this space.
Thank you, Johnny. Johnny is one of the co-founders of the Black, Trans, and Queer Collective, and also an actor. So, well, just wanted to tell people who you were. Okay, Craig Ali.
Yes, in response to, the whole question of pronouns, I think one of the things we're all struggling with, and there is a line, since we've invoked the world stage and, the energy in and around Lamert Park, I will quote a brother who was also a mentor of mine, Kamal Daoud, and he has a line in a piece where deep breathing is unlawful. And so part of that struggle is dealing with a group of folks that not only want to flaunt themselves, they want to eliminate you. They want to eliminate your culture. They want to eliminate your existence, your presence, as well as what it is they've done to you. History is not any longer history. It's something that is, to be forgotten about, but you can't forget self. And so, consistent with, this love is this commitment. And I didn't even know. I had the conversation that Kim talked about earlier, Black Poet Day. I didn't even know it existed until today, or until this week. And so that's something, when we look at another comment in relationship to when the Quran was revealed, the people that were embracing it came from a deep oral tradition. So the spoken word is a part of our existence. And, to silence that is indeed a foul that we should never really forget nor not pay attention to, that acknowledgement. And I say that because, in about 2 or 3 months, we'll be celebrating Kwanzaa. And one of the principles is self-determination. So I indeed embrace, what we have here and what we've done here.
Thank you, Craig. Linda?
I taught at Manual Arts High School for 29 years. And at Carver Junior High before that, and at Wadsworth Elementary before that. And the question, where is your hall pass in a historical context, hit me like a ton of bricks. And I want to say thank you.
Thank you. You want to respond, V? Go ahead.
I so do. I'm a product of the LAUSD Southern League. So I went to LA High, but friends and family went to Manual, and I never thought of it until this moment. I never got it, because one of the things I would say is, where's your hall pass? I've been saying that for years in reference to people looking so young that they would need a hall pass. But when you just said in reference to history, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. Because as we were before, this is where we are now. Where is your hall pass? And everybody's got to have one, or else. And to speak for Brother Craig, the silencing, for those who want to silence our voice, the challenge is they don't know that if we're silenced, then they will disappear. They don't understand that the poet's voice is what keeps the world spinning on its axis. Light and sound is the reference of the world stage, because we are light and sound. And for anyone to think and even to speak that we must be silent is self, there's a word, a self, blank, 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 blank. It's 4 syllables, prophecy, where you're doing yourself in. You're doing yourself in and you don't even know it. It would behoove you to have us speak about you, because then you continue to live.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody. Does anybody want, any, especially the poets or anybody else would like to speak that hasn't had a chance? Yeah, Joseph.
Yeah, just to, I'm going to be religious, so just a little plug-in for, I grew up in poetry, and the poetry came from Charles Wesley. Charles Wesley is the most prolific hymn writer of the Christian faith, and he wrote poems. The only thing is that they took the music of their age. He took music from pubs sometimes and from music bars and put it to the poetry that he wrote. And that is how we got the music and the hymns that we sing, especially in our Methodist church. So we grew up with that poetry that has a religious and a theological message to it, So some of our poems now may eventually be sung, not just well, it's being sung in church now. So we are very fortunate to have a lot of this poetry, reading, and sometimes songs in our worship. So I think we are very progressive, more progressive than many of the other churches that just sing the usual hymns, because the modern poetry is what is going to generate new life and new theological meaning as we go forward. So thank you very much.
That's right, Joseph. Thank you so much. Reggie, glad you have your hand up.
I just want to speak a word of gratitude for being here today and in the midst of so many who see, feel, and use their voice. For a lot of reasons, it's been a very hard week of observing a nation that will not see, will not hear, and tries at every opportunity to silence the voices of those who do. So these words this morning are resonating deep with me. And on the issue of pronouns, I want to say that I encountered something new this week. I was part of a small panel that was reviewing some issues of diversity in language and word. And as we gathered in the early moments identifying ourselves, some of us had pronouns up, some didn't. But one of those who was gathered, a Black woman from the South who's now living in New England, she identified that. She identified several other things about herself. But her assignation in the Zoom box was no pronouns written out. And when we came to that, she said, this is what I write because unless you are interested in, she said, I'm a single mother of 3. And if you are interested in me as a romantic interest, I'm willing to reveal my pronouns. Otherwise, that's my business. I'd never encountered that before.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Richie. Okay, Johnny, and your cat?
It's my roommate's cat. Excuse me, little kitty. There is I guess I'm recommending a book that I spoke on a panel a couple days ago, interviewing this author. Her name is Chloe Davis, and this book is called The Queen's English, and it is basically a queer history book that just talks about language and the different the language that has come from queer culture and the language that has been appropriated by mainstream culture, and it just sources it back to certain groups, certain areas, and it's so interesting. And I think that if anyone is curious, and it also, goes into detail about basically all the up-to-date, all of the different pride flags, all of the different sexualities, genders. It is a vast array, and it's a beautiful, beautiful love letter to queerness and trans identity and queer culture, specifically in the US. And so if anyone is curious and wants to learn about that, I'll plug it down in the chat. But I think that's a beautiful, it's so inclusive, like it's overwhelming, and even being a part of the queer community, it is overwhelming to see history. I think so much, we've talked a lot about erasure, right? And the silencing of, and I think that there are so many, forces that try to silence, and specifically with Blackness or trans identity or, queerness, like there's an erasure that is purposeful. And, we have a history of our history being erased. And so this book is sourcing that, and is our history. And so I think it's a beautiful, if anyone is curious, it's such a beautiful, it's a dictionary, legitimately a dictionary, dedicated towards queerness and transness. So I just think that it's beautiful. And so I'll plug that. So I just wanted to say that to you all.
Thank you, Johnny. That's beautiful. Yeah, please put it in the chat. We're getting a lot of messages. Please put that in the chat. Thank you so much. Sunflower, go ahead.
I wanted to, I guess, expound on what I was saying about pronouns in my response to Claudia, and also if I can go off of what Reggie said as well. I think it's important to show up the way you want to show up in spaces. So that person being told that, how dare they not put their pronouns when Claudia was sharing on their Zoom or whatever, that's their prerogative. You don't have to put your pronouns. You can if you want to, you can if you don't. And again, if you want to be at work and simply be on standby, or you want to just show up and then clock out once it's time, that's your prerogative as well. So, you can show up as loudly or as soundly as you feel comfortable with, I say. I don't want to say you have to be, throwing up rainbows or things of that sort wherever you go. I'm just a very loud and colorful person. So that's my thing.
Great, thank you. Well, this has been very rich. The whole morning has been rich. We thank you all for sharing, and we've learned a lot, and we've all gained a lot in our hearts. Thank you so much. And I'll turn it over to Dr. Kim.
Yes, this has been, it's always amazing to me, no matter what song I plan, after I hear everybody's, another song shows up. So this is the one that came, and we have sung it here before. The chorus is in the chat, and this is a song by Sapphire, and the words say, "Something inside so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone, oh no. but there's something inside so strong. So this is how the chorus goes, like this. Something inside so strong. I know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no. There's something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. All right, so if you want to sing that with me, I know on mute, but still, please sing that chorus with me like this. Here we go. Something inside so strong. I know that I can make it. And though you're doing me wrong, so wrong, you thought that my pride was gone. Oh no. There's something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. All right, so here comes the verse like this. The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become. Oh, the further you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can deny me, you can decide to turn your face away. No matter, 'cause there's something inside so strong. Oh yeah, I see you. Here we go. I know that I can make it. And though you're doing me wrong, so wrong, you thought that my pride was gone. Oh no. There's something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. And then there's the next verse, goes like this. The more you refuse to hear my voice, the louder I will sing. Ooh, you hide behind walls of Jericho, but your lies will come a-tumbling. Deny my place in time, you squander wealth that's mine. My light will shine so brightly. Here we go. Because there's something inside so strong. I know that I can make it. And though you're doing me wrong, so wrong, you thought that my pride was gone. Oh no. There's something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. And you know, like every good song, there's got to be a bridge. And it says, brothers and sisters, when they insist we're just not good enough. Whoa. Well, we know better. Just look them in the eye and say, gonna do it anyway. Gonna do it anyway. Gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway, 'cause there's something inside so strong. I know that I can make it, yeah, but you're doing me wrong, so wrong. Thought that my pride was gone, oh yeah. Something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. I know it is so sad that we can't all be singing together, but we got to be on mute because of the, what is it, the latency, whatever they say. So just sing it on mute, but you know, you can also show that maybe you're raising your hands Showing that something inside so strong. Here we go now. Something inside so strong. Yeah. I know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no. There's something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Something inside so strong. Last time. Something inside so strong. And thank you to the poets that helped us think about something inside so strong. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yeah.
While you were putting that in, Reg is going to play some wonderful instrumental music for us. So joys and concerns, please put them into the chat right now.
Of birthdays today.
All right.
5 birthdays. So how about I start since Louise isn't here?
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Gail Burns. Happy birthday to Lee. Happy birthday, dear Bo. Happy birthday, Happy birthday, dear Chloe. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Jean. All right. So we're coming to the end of our time, and I kept thinking, what would be a good song to sing before we do our benediction? But the song that kept coming to me is This Little Light of Mine. Just so simple. And I kept thinking that the light, people have so much inside of them that brings joy and thoughtfulness and challenge and celebration and healing into the world. So just this little light of mine. So I know that this is one of those ones where you got to stay on mute, but you can start singing harmonies. You can do whatever you want in your Zoom room and have a good old time. All right, here we go. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Reg, you want to sing the next verse?
All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Well, all around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Now this one is for the poets. And there's so many poets we've had ones that spoke today, and some others who I know are hiding out. Yeah, are hanging out. Here we go. All through my words, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, all through my words, I'm gonna let it shine. All through my words, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Okay, Reg, take us home.
Oh, rising from my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Well, rising from my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Rising from my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Well, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All right, thanks, Rick.
All right. Woo! Hey, this is the time when we all get to take our microphones off and say something very chaotically all together. So you can unmute and we're going to say carry on together. And what we do is we take hands around the world, including people who we can't see, who we don't even know, who we never listened to before, who we used to think they were bad folks. And so we disregarded them, whoever they were, all across the world. And we're going to say carry on. So ready to unmute and say carry on. 1, 2, 3.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Carry on.